welcome to the AM of day 5. Yesterday we spent the day out house shopping and work out in the morning with friends and then house shopping, and we got around 3 or 5 different houses, and it was really great. Actually, we saw some shit ones and we saw a couple of nicer ones. We actually saw one that we were going to put an offer in on, but I guess someone must have offered a better deal than anyone else had already, so they decided to pull it off the market early, which was a shame because we had really liked that one, the one in Gahanna. There's been a little paranoia about not finding a place. There's been a little paranoia about maybe not having enough money for a down payment, or maybe the credit's not good enough for us to get into a slightly less competitive neighborhood, and it feels like we're kind of fighting against every other asshole out there. But like with quitting, there's a benefit to sort of keeping on pushing, and keeping on looking. Mum had talked to us recently about it, and she said that their first house, they looked at 40 different houses before they settled actually on the one that they were renting already. And it's weird because I'm actually wondering about that myself. But anyway, these talks are about quitting drugs and video games and not home shopping, so I'm not going to make it into a home shopping talk. I have been feeling it. Last night, however, I had the first memorable dream in 6 months or so, and I'll talk about that now. It was right before I woke up. I had a dream that some famous general, it was while I was still in the Air Force, and some famous general had showed up, and I had been assigned to him to sort of walk around with him, and he was power walking everywhere, and jumping over fences and asking lots of questions, but then when I wouldn't quite hear what the question was, and when I would ask him what, and he wouldn't respond back. And he was walking around and talking to senior officers, and I was just like furiously trying to keep up with him. And then eventually he vaulted over some stairs down into this sub base that was attached to the sea, and there were these I forget what they call them, those boats that they storm beaches with the front platform that clanks down and they run out. There was 2 of those side by side with guys from the Salvation Army operating them in full Salvation Army gear, no idea why. And there were just piles of bodies in the bottom of these boats, and guys jumping in on top of them and laying down and pretending like they were dead. And I was in my dress blues, and the guy threw me a rifle and a fucking kit bag and was like, alright, get in. And the general just suddenly was in greens, and he just jumped in and he was like, you coming? And I was like, I guess I'd better go. So I threw all my stuff in, and then I just couldn't find the shirt and pants I needed to put on to cover up my dress blues, and all I could think of was, I'm going to be the first person they shoot at out of that fucking boat, because I'm going to stand out like dog's balls. And then I woke up, and I was covered in sweat, obviously, because I'd been running around in my dream and trying to fish through, wet weather gear and stuff to try to find a shirt and pants. And anyway, but the main thing was that this along the quitting timeline, the time that at least for me anyway, the time that I start to feel, and the time that I start to sleep through the night, and have vivid dreams, and I'm not sweating as much. I mean, I was sweating a lot because I was moving around a lot, but normally when I don't move around in my dreams, I don't sweat. So when I'm having really vivid dreams, that's usually a sign that the marijuana is almost on its way out, almost done going on its way out. So if anyone ever has any question about that, my suggestion would be, if you're having dreams, you're probably quite far along the process, and you're going to get your sleep back pretty soon, which is awesome. Here's a random thing to throw out for the universe. Yesterday, while we were working out, I came up with a great logo for Rogue, for their marketing team. You want to make a cool T-shirt, and particularly this would be a cool T-shirt for girls. You could say you could have a T-shirt that has a person squatting with their butt hanging out, and the caption would say, "My buns are my guns." I think that would be pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, really that's about it for this one. I've just been feeling more clear-headed, and I've had some of those sort of joyous moments yesterday when we were walking around, even after we got pushed out of the offer bids for the house that we were interested in. I felt good. I felt like we were doing what we were supposed to be doing, and the panic, the paranoia that I hear about other people, and the sort of this desperation that I hear from other people about the home buying process, just hasn't really been driving us. We've really been pretty happy with how things have gone. You know, we haven't exactly had the best time of it, but it's been fun, and our realtor's been good, and the stress of it hasn't really piled up. So anyway, that's it for today. Day 5 feeling pretty good. So thanks.